start with is my plotter. Now, if you are not in aviation or not like a student pilot or any other rated pilot, we use these on our maps to measure the distance between points, which could be airports or for cross-country planning, could be checkpoints. And then also here, what degree mark. So like what degrees, so like from 0 degrees north all the way around 360 back to north again. I finally got myself one of these because I needed one for the check ride. There. The check ride went well. I got the license. I'm super happy that I got it. So, there'll be probably a more formal introduction video tomorrow is my guess. Just when we're coming back. I am going to be going to a normal upload schedule. I am going to be trying to figure that out though. Let's go to the next thing, which is my sump. I feel a sump. And now, I use this. I probably said this in every ASMR. I think this is like part 3. But, I use this to check the quality of the fuel to make sure there's no water or any other contaminants like dirt in the fuel. So, this is a very, very important part of my pre-flight. And it needs to be cleaned desperately because it has seen some a lot of avgas, and over the time, I'm gonna hold that so it's rattled. Over the time, it just built up some gunk in it, just from being in my flight bag, going from my car in the flight bag to the plane, and just over and over again. So it just needs to be washed out. It's not it. Yours priority is not like it has. It's filled with dirt, and it prevents me from getting good fuel samples. It's just a preference. I like to clean these out every once in a while to keep dirt from actually building up in there. Now, I'm gonna put this away because I don't really like using that for ASMR because it kind of sucks. Next, we're gonna take my E6B calculator. Which is this here, the Sporties. And I would 100% recommend the Sporties one. It's the best. You can do your heading and ground speed, the pressure and density and altitude, speed, and a bunch of other features. You can find the fuel required or from what I did to my first checkpoint. 258. True airspeed. Well, it was pretty hot today, so I assume Warrior go a little faster. So, I don't know if you can see this. I'll try and read it the best I can backwards. So we'd have a ground speed of 97. Our wind correction angle would be -6. And our heading would be, with the wind correction angle calculated in, would be 252. And then also, you do like the magnetic deviation stuff because of the instruments in the plane. And then, I just did it. I forgot what the term is, but it's the difference between true north and magnetic north. So wherever you are, there are lines, and whatever line would be closest to, we would do. So for where I am, it'd be plus 50 degrees. So it'd be 267 will be our final heading. And maybe we could do some weight and balance as well. So let's just do weight is 200. The arm, let's see, the arm is 84. Rep is 1. Okay. So, alright. There you go. That's weight and balance on here. Now, I could play with this thing all day, but it's probably boring for you guys. So let's actually get into the flight bag now. And for the remainder of this video, I am going to be wearing some sweet aviators. There we go. Now, I'm not going to pull the headset out this time because the headset just... there's nothing you can make of ASMR out of it. I'm going to take these out after the video because they kind of just like warp over every time I put them in my flight bag. It just goes like that every time. And then they just start slowly warping. That's kind of what happened, because you might all know that I had to reschedule this because of the scheduling issues at the club, and the examiner also got stuck at the at a different airport, so he wasn't able to make it. So, but I'm glad to have it done. Comment section, if you guys have any question about check rides, if you are getting close to it, or just want to know anything about it, feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer your questions. Okay, that's enough of that. Now, next, we have my kneeboard. And just tells you a bunch of stuff like VFR, like conditions. It also has the whole phonetic alphabet here, cruising altitudes. So from a heading of 180 to 359, you want to go on even thousands plus 500, like 4,500, but that only counts when you're above 3,000 feet. Above sea level. And then from 0 degrees or 360 degrees, they're the same thing, to 179 degrees, it's odd thousands. So 3,500, 5,500, things like that. And then it gives you like the UTC time conversions. Here, this is a very useful thing. Also, light gun signals. That's if you lose your radio, the tower will shoot light guns up at you, and it can help you communicate with the tower. So, for instance, if you are flying around circles, and you get a flashing green light, that means return to land. So enter the traffic pattern. And then if there's a steady green, you're cleared to land. Things like that. And then here, it has a crosswind component. So you can calculate the crosswinds. So let's say, for instance, like yesterday, I had a wind from blowing at 180, and that was 10 degrees off the runway heading, which was 17, so I go here, and I'd follow it to the 10 degree, and then I go down, and I see it's about like a less than 5, not crosswind component. And then, that's pretty much it though, which is on. There's also like things about pilot reports, PIREPs. And like it just says the stages how to do one. So, station, ident, report type, location, time, altitude, aircraft type. Because if a Cessna, if you don't know what Cessna is, it's a small plane. If a Cessna reports moderate turbulence, and a Boeing 737 reads that PIREP, they're just going to ignore it. They won't ignore it, but they're going to pay little attention to it, because if it's a moderate turbulence for a Cessna and a really big 737, it's not going to be moderate turbulence. But it could be, so you never know. So I'm going to put this away though. And pull the next thing out. Actually, I'm not going to pull that out. Because that will expose my location. And I don't want to do that, so. Next is, checklist. I always end up with a checklist when I end up with it today. So, as I go first class ASMR for this, hold on. I'm probably gonna get mocked for this, for not remembering this, but just go off your checklist. Don't memorize it. Only thing you need to memorize is your emergency procedures. That's it. Because if you try to memorize this, you'll forget things. So, I'm gonna do the whole briefly reading. I'm gonna read it more at a faster pace, just because I don't want to keep you guys much longer. Because I know this video is it might be dragging on. I don't know though. So, first thing you want to do pre-flight cockpit safety check is you want the magnetos off and Because there might be someone put the seatbelt over the flight controls. This could be called a control lock. To keep the controls in place. You want to make sure our radio master's off. Electrical switches are all off. Turn your strobe on. Make sure turn the master switch on, but make sure the prop is clear. Check the fuel gauges. Test your annunciator panel. That tells you if anything's going wrong with the plane. And if you are IFR or night, test the aux vacuum pump only for 1 second. And then get out of the plane. But wait, you want to make sure, hold on. You actually turn all your lights on first. All the ones that are required for your flight. I like to check all the lights to make sure that, like, if I were to get into a condition where the visibility is dropping or I have to use my emergency instrument training, then I would want to use those lights for added visibility. Because like there was one time I was on my instructor and the visibility was starting to drop and we were in the traffic pattern and he was like, alright, I'm like, we should do a full stop this time. And he's like, yeah, I agree with you. Because there was a wall of rain coming towards us or like mist or something and the visibility, you could not see through it. So I flipped on the nav lights just to make sure we had added visibility. It's just, I like to check the lights to make sure they all work, just in case anything happens. So when you get out of the aircraft, you want to check all the lights, make sure they're all on. You want to check the stall horn. On the plane I fly, I like to open the little window. Because sometimes if someone starts their engine next to you, or there's someone that engine even like 15 planes down, you can't hear the stall horn for some reason outside the plane. And once you're done with that, you checked all that stuff. You want to check the beat ID too, make sure the beat ID is working. Only if you need the beat ID. Look at icing conditions exist. And it says on here, only if IMC. And after that, you want to get back in the plane. You want to shut all the electricals up, leave the strobes on. Because the strobes, if they're on, and you get out of the plane, you see they're still flashing, it'll tell you left the battery on. And if you leave the battery on for too long, it'll die. But, and then turn your, and then I always like to verify if all the switches off. Set your altimeter, field elevation. Check the magnetic compass and make sure that it's accurate. Drain the beat static. Drains, beat static. Drain, you push them in. And then check the flight controls. Make sure all the flight surfaces are working. Extend the flaps. So on the Warrior, it's like a